Greetings and welcome to another edition of Prescott Talks here at Prescott News Studio, downtown Prescott. And today we have a very special guest, Robert Zinni from Northpoint Expeditionary Learning Academy. Robert, thank you for coming in and spending some time with us at Prescott News.
Hey, my pleasure, David. It's nice to see you in the halls when you're subbing for us. And,
yes.
I'm glad to have a platform to talk about how amazing our school is.
Yes, it is a favorite school for me to go to, and I enjoy the students there at Northpoint. And it's Expeditionary Learning Academy. Tell us what that means.
All right, so Expeditionary Learning Academy is a fancy word for we will take you places and we'll learn about the world around you through multiple perspectives. So in this philosophy of education, it means hands-on learning, character development, service learning, and engagement with the community. And so each semester, our students per grade level will have their own topic. So the expedition is a topic that they'll learn all their content through a lens, if you will. Some of my favorites are immigration, okay? And then I used to do world food production when I was a teacher. Now I'm on the other side as an administrator. Active citizenship was one of my favorite ones, and the 8th grade does that now too. But essentially, let's say with immigration, the 10th graders through world history standards and all the other standards will have immigration as their topic for all core classes. And then they'll have guest speakers, hands-on activities. We do a thing called field work where we go camp in Tucson and we have all these different guest speakers and experiences lined up. So at one point we took our students to Streamline Court where they saw about 75 to 150 illegal immigrants get processed and deported. That was a very interesting one.
Where was that at?
That was in Tucson. And then we go to the border. So we have a really good relationship with the mayor of Nogales. So we'll go get tacos with the mayor of Nogales. He'll talk about the economics about border town.
Yeah.
And sometimes the students will see students their age across the wall. And it's a very interesting experience. So we take the outside world, we put it in there. We don't brainwash anybody. Northpoint want our students to develop their opinions about certain topics, because we're not going to shy away from controversy, but we want to give them the tools so they can be well-rounded in their education and then articulate their points of view in an academic setting. But also we take places, so we go traveling at least 3 times a year, and those fieldwork experiences really shape the students' perspectives, but also take them out of their comfort zones a little bit and expose them to things that, in a regular classroom you won't get.
Okay, so you're going out to the world with the students, and they're having real life experiences.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about that. Where do you go? And they can sign up for, you have options that they can sign up for, right?
Yeah, okay. So you're locked into your expedition when you're in a grade. So we have 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grades, all for single expeditions. So for freshmen, we do a lot of sustainability. And so we partner with a couple community gardens in Phoenix to help them with their community garden, so weeding. We also go to the Sierra Club in Phoenix, and we do some riparian service work at Rio Saladro, which pulling weeds, all the invasive species. And then part 2 of that year is we go to Flagstaff, and we work with a couple different organizations up there and learn what Flagstaff's doing with recycling and sustainability. The 8th grade just did a active citizenship and citizen science expedition. And so they did a whole field work in town revolving around the 19 firefighters from 2013. And so they hiked the trail, they went to the tree with Doug Humes, and they learned about what it means to be somebody in the service industry, or at least with the hot shots up there, and what they do for the community. And so we'll take you places, and then after the pandemic, we want to build some of our awesome programs up, so we do international travel. Melissa Wagner, who's the director, and I used to do Germany exchange with a Frankfurt school for years, and that was probably one of the best. So the German kids come from a 3 million populated city all the way to rural Arizona, and it's always nice to see them like New York, LA, and it's like, no, this is rural Arizona, have fun. And the Germans love shooting guns, they love four-wheeling, it's great. Yeah. And then we also partner with Prescott College, and we go down to Keno Bay, Mexico. So next May, if you're enrolled at Northpoint in the high school, we will have a marine biology trip where we go to Keno Bay, Mexico. We do a little Spanish immersive course, and then we help the research facility with their research with marine animals. I didn't go on that trip. Apparently swam with dolphins in 2018 and 2019.
Wow.
So that's good. And
Is that in the Gulf? Where is that?
That's on Baja. So yeah, the Gulf.
Yeah, okay. Gulf of California?
Gulf of California.
Okay.
And then we also do like backpacking trips. So like at the end of the semesters, we have our electives, which is called intensives for a reason. And I just got back from a 3 to 4 day backpacking trip with an all boys class. So that class was by Luke Thorne, our geometry teacher.
Yeah.
And he talked about what does it mean to be a man and what is a rites of passage. And we took the kids out for 4 days. We did about 25 miles, and some of them had zero experience. Some of them had them all. And my favorite was the kids who wanted to give up the first day. And we were just like positively talking, like it's a path. We're not going to say you don't want to, because I'll hike back the 5 miles and hike back out. But what path, what choice you're going to make. So those are the kind of classes where the teachers create their own specific, let's say, topic, and then help the kids with all that. So when we do intensives, we go a lot. I used to do adventure archaeology. So we would go to go cliff rock climbing in Sedona to petroglyphs or known sites. And so that's kind of like what we do at Northpoint. So we'll take you places.
Yeah, obviously. And they get a lot of, they further their self-esteem. They feel like they know a lot more when they go out and do these kind of things, have these experiences. Do they have to write a paper or give a oral report about what they've done?
Okay. So we do academics here at Northpoint. And so anytime we're out on the trip, it'll probably be like a fieldwork journal where the teachers will create a list of questions for the guest speakers, or if we're doing service, one of our math teachers had them calculate for if we had 50 kids do 3 hours of service for this organization, how many hours did we save them from time and labor? And so we're project-based. So besides math and maybe like a science class, we really don't do tests because we want hands-on learning, mastery-based learning. And so if they go on the trip, they have a fieldwork journal, which is probably 20% of their grade. It's kind of like a midterm. And then what we expect from the students and staff is they'll take what they learned on that fieldwork and they will they'll make a presentation with that information and everything else they learned at the end of the semester called Celebration of Learning, which is open to the public. It's usually the last day of the semester. And our students do phenomenal. Like some work they do is like a children's book about, let's say, discrimination. They did an immigration magazine where they had to do a Spanish report or a Spanish weather report in Spanish. They had to talk about, border patrol and whatnot, because we got to go to the border patrol this year. And so think outside of the box as far of like how to assess them. The students, it may not be a test, but the tests are the projects. So if they're able to articulate and tell us as the crowd, and it could be a video, it could be countless projects, that's good for us because we want our students to think for themselves, have the confidence for public speaking. Because did you know, Dave, that like public speaking is like more people fear public speaking than death.
Right. Yes.
And so
yes, the number one fear.
No. Now, however, if you don't go on our fieldwork, you will get a 5-page research paper that you have to do on your own. So we highly recommend going traveling with us.
I'm sure they love it. I mean, how many high school kids gets to eat tacos with the mayor of Nogales? Come on.
Exactly.
What a deal.
And learn about real life things instead of just talking about it or like, they must feel like this and this condition's there. Well, we will show the kids of whatever topic that we want to expose the students, we'll take them there and they can decide for themselves. And I think that's what separates us from the most, because like we do, walk the walk and talk the talk. And, I'm proud that out of my years of being the vice principal for, rarely do we have any parent complain about bias or anything else like that. They actually, majority of the parents like what we're doing. And again, we are transparent. So if there's any kind of issue with our content, please reach out to us and we'll figure it out. Because usually it's about the miscommunication of everything.
Yes, and I know Northpoint has those large transport vans, and is that what you use to go all these different locales that you're going to?
Yeah, so in state and out of state, we have a fleet of 15 passenger vans, And we have about 5 really good ones now, But yeah, we load them up and we go through training. All staff is trained up. We do it once a year. We have insurance. And we haven't gotten a car crash yet, which is good. However, if you go to the back parking lot at Northpoint, I think it was 2016, I kind of backed into a wall and the wall's not there anymore. So that's the closest thing.
The wall's no longer there.
Yep. So, we go to Sedona, Flagstaff, Phoenix, Tucson. We go to Las Vegas when they're juniors to learn about power structures. So not only social power like the Mob Museum, but then we got a sneak look at their water grid because Vegas has a really complex, like sustainable solution to their water issues there. So we travel, and that's the best part about my job is going out, traveling with the kids, hanging out at the campsite at night. At night we treat it like the campfire, so we'll tell scary stories. I always try to talk about Native American folklore, like skinwalkers, just to freak the kids out. So that's the kind of community that we're building, that we want them to get outside of the classroom, but then at night we're gonna have a campfire and we're gonna sing songs, talk about, some scary stories and whatnot. It's fun. Yeah.
Great. You learn through experience, don't you? Better than even through reading. I love reading and I learn a lot through reading, but the best way to learn is through experience.
Yeah. And the best part about Northpoint is when you get that kid and it clicks for them, whether it's like a year after the trip that we've done or, they've read all this stuff in class, they presented it, and then they get to see that. It's really the experiential learning that stands Northpoint apart from other schools in the area. Okay, great. And that's a neat thing you're doing there. And you use these transport vans to bring people to school and bring them back home, right? Yeah, so being a small charter school, we're limited, obviously, but we do have 3 van routes. So if you are in the Paulden Chino, or I just found out it was the Chalden area, the Paulden Chino area, Prescott Valley, Dewey, and even Prescott, we do have first come, first serve. You can probably fit about 14 kids in a van. So we do have transportation option, which is free from the school. Great. But they have to sign up and they have to use it. Because if you're a parent that you sign up for it and halfway through the semester you don't, you have to let us know so then another kid can get on. Right. Mm-hmm. Excellent. And how many students do you have? So right now we have 165. We have room for all of our classes besides our 8th grade is full. And here's my pitch. If you want a small environment that's positive and safe for your student, come to Northpoint, because we do not have classes more than 25 in the high school. And in the middle school, you'll have 25 for your social studies and science classes, but then only 13 to 12 kids for your math and English. So we're a small charter school. We don't have more than 25 kids per class. And your staff's going to know who you are, whether you like it or not. We like to get to know our students. Yes. We like to support them. Yeah. And the best is the family connections. Throughout my time in Prescott, a lot of things outside of Northpoint come from Northpoint parents, and I just love the community that we've built throughout the 17 years that Northpoint has been existing. 17 years. Okay. Yep. 2006 was the first year, and it was through the district, and then they. Well, I wasn't here for this, so I'm not going to go on the thing, but then they got their own charter around 2010, and so we've been a separate charter school, but we originally was a part of the district. Okay, since 2010, you've been a charter school. And where are you located? We're located at 551 First Street in the downtown area near Grease Monkey. So it's off of Navajo Drive. We're in the old Dexter building. Really funky community building. All the murals are student made. All right. So, and they all were in their expeditions. Yep. And if I remember right, there was a rooster across the street. Next to us, yes. And it's not like, 7:00 when normal roosters will, cock-a-doodle-doo. Yeah. We're talking like 3:00 in the afternoon, especially if I'm down in the math wing of the school, you're hearing the roosters. That's what I remember hearing them in the afternoon. Uh-huh. Like I was looking at my watch and thinking, this rooster's off a bit. So, now I found out just a little while ago that you were going to be part of the legend of Zinni the Kid. Would you tell us a little bit about that? Yeah, so, I love being an educator, but, I'm not going to lie, sometimes the stress is big. And so in 2020, we created the TBD show, which is To Be Determined. And so in the last year, we made a Western episode. that kind of makes fun but honors Prescott's history of the Wild Wild West. And so we're proud to have that July 21st at 7 o'clock at the Elks Opera House Theater, not the Crystal Ballroom. And we have Xander Rodriguez opening for us. And then we have about an hour and a half comedy, which is filmed segments and live segments. And if you're in the audience, somebody may pull you up because we like the audience participation on that. But we've been working our butts off, and we partner with a lot of great organizations in town to pull this off. Like Jersey Lilies had us filmed there. The reenactors were our extras. So I forget I know they'll probably get mad at me, but the reenactors of the cowboys and the ladies, they were there. Regulators. We partnered with Three Willows Sanctuary, which is a horse therapy place. And then proceeds go to the Western Heritage Center. Dennis Gallagher does a great job of preserving Prescott's history. Yeah. And, at the time when he wrote this last year, it was definitely funny, but I'm just surprised, but also humbled about when we say we're doing this Western show, this comedy show, how many people in the community actually want to go to it and think we're doing a great job.
Now, do you do any performances or talks at the Western Heritage Center there in Whiskey Row?
No, but after this I could. Now, I'm a historian, so Drew Desmond was a guest speaker for my AZ history classes a lot. We go there for the Prescott Film Alliance Association. So they started hosting a filmmaker group because there's a lot of film now in Prescott. And so they're there first Mondays of every month. And but I would love to go to the Western Heritage Center and promote the show.
Okay, so again, that's going to be Friday, July 21st at 7 p.m. at the Elks Theater. And can you get tickets at the box office?
You can get tickets at the box office, or you can go to the tbdshow.com/tickets. And I just want to plug this. So the tbdshow.com/tickets. Yep. So the tbdshow.com/tickets.
Okay.
And you can also find it on the Elks Theater website. But for $22, if you get your ticket at 4:30 at La Planchada's, we partnered with La Planchada, the local taco place. We'll get you access to a free taco bar on the TBD show.
Really?
And half off your first drink. But you have to let us know, so RSVP us. And then afterwards, we have Sky Daddy and Billy Reno and a DJ called Mammothfish playing at the Grand Highland Hotel, which will have free pizza from Two Mamas with the proof of purchase and half off your first drink there. So it's more than just the show. We
that's
have a good
whole
event.
night. That's a whole afternoon and night. That's awesome. And that Two Mamas is a great pizza.
Oh, great pizza.
Good choice.
Yep. And if you want to see an episode, it's our Christmas episode where Keith from Two Mamas becomes Pizza Claus. And it's one of my favorite
How do we look at the show?
Okay. So you go to the tbdshow.com.
tbdshow.com.
And our episode's right there.
And you've had how many seasons?
This is our third season. Okay. And so we went big. So we blew all of our budget on making this one and a film noir detective where I played Dick Zinni, which is great. And so we will be producing the Western episode next month, and then we're going to either go to the Elks again or maybe PCA, because I like that venue's a little bit more swanky for a private eye one. But we'll be looking for another charity to give money to. And then after the noir episode, we'll be, we were thinking about making fun of social media through the Truman Show, making fun of the Truman Show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the website will be on the screen, folks. So go to the website and check that out. See what's coming up next with this kind of Western humor that I think you won't find anywhere else.
No, and our thing for the TBD show is Made in Prescott for America. So this is Prescott made, and I'm pretty proud of it that my co-producer Brandon and I built this from the ground with Dana Murdoch from Thumb Butte Distillery, and now it's something else than what we thought it would be. So
awesome!
It's great comedy for Prescott, and if you're local, you're gonna love the humor.
Okay, you got to go to that, folks, and the website is on the screen. Mm-hmm. So this has been David McNabb hosting this edition of Prescott Talks with our special guest, Robert Zinni from Northpoint Expeditionary Learning Academy. And that's grades 7 through 12, middle school and
High school.
high school.
Yep. And our slogan is "We're crew, not passengers." So if you want to join our ragtag bunch of crew, come join us because we're crew, not passengers.
Great motto. I love that. We are crew, not passengers. I love it. And so the website for the school will be on there as well. So folks, this is summertime. If you're thinking maybe there's a better place that we can send our kids to than public school, this is the place. Check it out, please. Thank you for coming in and viewing this episode of Prescott Talks. God bless.